As much as I would have loved to have begun this video with a good morning, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately I couldn't because, like many bad things that ever happen in the universe, Daniel Larson has somehow got to be at the bottom of them. Because there's been quite a number of things that have happened over the last 4 days that I've only just have just come to light personally, and it leaves me feeling like, what was the point? Because, ladies and gentlemen, on the 2nd of April this year, Daniel Larson got arrested for the third time for being, once again, a fugitive of justice. And he was apparently being held at a $1,500 bail. And I'll just go through this very quickly, just because I don't want to spend too much time. On the 2nd of April, Daniel was arrested for being a fugitive from justice while on the bus back to Denver from a warrant out of Jefferson County as he missed court on March 27th, 2024. He was placed into the Douglas County Detention Facility and was held at a bond of $1,500. He was released the next day. This is the fourth time, I should say, four times. Okay, yeah, okay, 4 times, that makes sense. He has been arrested fourth time this year, and we're only into April. He was arrested 2 weeks ago and in February on the same charges. Daniel had missed his court date at Jefferson County for a hearing on the Olive Garden incident on March 27, 2024, as he showed up 4 hours late, not knowing that it was for 8:30. He was initially scared that he was going to face jail time if he showed up. On March 29th, Daniel walked all the way to Colorado Springs and stayed there for the weekend before boarding a bus to go back to Denver on the 2nd of April. He went live on the bus, unaware that the police were looking for him while he was on his way back. Sometime in the early evening, shortly after he ended his live, the bus Daniel was on was pulled over by police, and Daniel was arrested in Lone Tree County, therefore not making it back to Denver. He was booked into the Douglas County Detention Facility and is being held at a bond of $1,500. Daniel appeared in court on the 3rd of April of that year at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, a virtual appearance for Jefferson County about the warrant. He was released shortly after. Now, I was originally going to make the comment, ladies and gentlemen, that basically the trolls or whatever ween was available at the time decided that they're just going to pay for it because a $1,500 bail, that's like, well, that's nothing. For all we know, it may as well have been $15 because I wonder if now the situation, even with as far as the law is concerned, he is still a pretty low, such a low priority that they're probably even thinking to themselves, is it really worth it? Well, it was worth it enough for them to send a warrant out for his arrest for being a fugitive from justice. And that's not even the only other things I wanted to talk about, because apparently Daniel had to go to the hospital because he got punched in the face. Is, well, something he gleefully, because bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, his YouTube channel, well, whenever he does get a new one, because he obviously, with the issue of going to jail, it sort of things pop up here and then, is that he must get like all of his trolls and all of his weens follow him almost instantaneously because he's able to post community posts almost as frequently as many times he's been arrested. And a lot of things that are going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, not even 24 hours ago, Daniel Larson posted a video where he's just walking in the sun, and for the most part, you could only really see the black hole that is the underside of his chin, celebrating the fact that the Daniel Larson subreddit is now at 70,000 members. Holy crap. But unfortunately, this is in conjunction with the fact that he seems almost gleefully unaware of the fact that at this stage in his life, in his 26 years, is that he's been arrested 4 times this year in the span of 3 months, and he hasn't got anybody to actually take care of his interests like Bob Proctor, because Daniel completely screwed him over through his own actions. And it gets a little bit more insidious, ladies and gentlemen, because apparently Daniel, who is also a known P word, went to some sort of gig with kids, and you could see him literally holding up his phone, and then there's like 4 kids in the shots with at least who look at least anywhere between 6 to 10 years old. And the fact that Daniel is there at all is creepy enough on its own, but the fact is that he seems almost like he's like looking down at the camera as well. Like it, I have no idea if if he's filming the band or he's just looking at something different. But well, you work out the rest. And then there's just all sorts of bullshit that Daniel's been pulling because it's called like I now have endless financial choices. I don't get that. The Bible talks about 3 days darkness before the bull market, and then something really really bizarre. See you there. My mother and father being related has nothing to do with the fact I used my gerbil as a fleshlight. If that's true, then I reckon Daniel's gonna have to like answer questions on bestiality now. We're gonna just throw into the bag because I at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna just come out and say this. I have absolutely what the hell is going on. I don't understand why. And again, I'll just go and say that I have no idea if trolls or weens they paid for Daniel Larson's bail or not, but if they have, well, I'll just say this: is that you absolute morons, you losers, don't you understand, guys? All you're doing is releasing a man who will literally do everything it takes to go back to jail anyway. At this point, I'm not entirely convinced that Daniel Larson is every single time he gets arrested, he's just gonna do it over and over again because it hasn't occurred to Daniel whatsoever that, you know what, there could be any actual harm coming his way. Daniel Larson legitimately believes at this point that he can't actually face any consequences for his actions. Because somebody who gleefully boasts about, having 70,000 members on the subreddit and not having to face jail because his bail will be paid for by somebody else, as long as Daniel Larson is simply free to do whatever he likes, and for Daniel, jail or a detention facility, it basically means a room for the night. It's a hotel or motel where there's nothing to pay. And, well, we know that because Daniel Larson managed to get kicked out of a homeless shelter after 3 days. So I don't have any reason. I do still want to talk about Daniel Larson because there's like a few things I want to have left to talk about him. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, we run into a situation where I don't quite understand. I don't understand I don't understand why people are interested anymore. I don't understand how Daniel Larson's life could get any worse, because it's not going to get better. This is not the low point of Daniel Larson's life where things suddenly get better. This is at the lowest of the low. And Daniel Larson will prove to all of us there are no depths he is not willing to sink, especially if the comment about the gerbil is going to be making headlines anytime soon. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. That is just some of the things that have been happening over the last 3 days with Daniel Larson. So there you are. If Daniel Larson gets arrested again, don't pay for his bail. Don't celebrate with him when the subreddit reaches 100,000 followers. Don't even think about it, because he's not worth it. And I know Daniel Larson may think that I'm a troll because I'm telling people not to interact with him or not to pay him any attention. Again, I don't really think anybody's going to cry at the funeral either. So there we are. That's the video.